Nice little bend here to the left. Hit a little pass. Hey, yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to DerekBaranProductions for another video. Hope everybody had a blessed Memorial Day weekend. We got something pretty exciting going. Dude, you're literally gonna get an egg toss sound. Based on the title and thumbnail of today's video, we have a really cool modification going down on my 2022 Mustang Mach 1 Maverick, thanks to our friends over at Steeda yet again. Chris, thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome. Can't wait to get more Steeda parts on the car, but today we got one that has to be done. This is probably gonna be one of the best modifications with the suspension that you guys can do if you have magneride. So over here on the table, I have 3 boxes here. Go ahead and open up this medium box first, see what's inside. I've been waiting patiently for some Steeda gear, and it looks like they delivered. We got a banner, so we got to get them probably up right there above the Vortec. Let's see what this one looks like. Check that out. Lucifer, Maverick. We need a Steeda banner. We got to make that happen. Then it looks like we also have, ooh, a Richardson 112. How did they know this was my favorite style of snapback? I think I got myself a new golf hat, bro. You gotta bend the brim. And then to end it, we got a nice little Steeda shirt. Espa Fitty. Speed matters. Box number 2 is what this video is based around today. We got to explain to you why we went with these over another option that's very, very popular from Steeda. As you can tell, we got some springs here because we got to go and get this Mach 1 lowered just a wee bit. These are actually Steeda's dual rate springs for magneride. Steeda also has another very, very popular spring for all magneride applications, which is going to be their Steeda like sport spring. They do drop the car's ride height a lot more. I think it's like 1.5 inches or so, but the thing is with the sport springs and the magneride, you're gonna lose out on the drivability, and that is a fact because these dual rate springs are so good because they are actually, I want to say, 2 different variable rates within one spring. I don't know the logistics behind it. You could probably watch one of Steeda's videos that I'm going to link in the description to get the true science, but these with magneride, not only is it going to lower the car and give it a perfect stance, but it enhances the magneride, and that's why I opted out of being hot boy status and went with the more performance side spring with the magneride, and that's why we have Steeda's dual rates, which we are going to be slapping in Maverick today. And with the springs inside this box, we have a set of caster camber plates from Steeda. I am going to hold off on these today because we don't have an alignment rack. We'll get these on, and then when I go and take it to Chase for an alignment, I'll have him throw those on, and we'll get a crisp alignment with all the new parts. But we do have a full set of springs and camber plates. But we're gonna jump into this install, try to knock her out, and we're gonna give, the first drive on the dual rate springs, hit some turns, see how she feels, because right now the car feels fantastic from its stock form. So I'm anxious to see how the Steeda dual rate and the science and technology they put behind these springs. Let's get started. All right, got Maverick in the garage, just busted all the lugs loose. We're gonna do the fronts first, I believe, but we're gonna get to trucking and get old girl lowered on the Steeda dual rates. This will be the first time these wheels are removed from the car. Great day, ladies and gentlemen, things. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, this car pulls left to right on the interstate. That's all the tread that's on these. So that's some fun stuff. Caliper and rotor are removed. We're just removing some of the lines for the caliper. And the only way to get to this nut is to remove the caliper, so you can't really half-ass it. These nuts, these bolts, and then you have an end link you actually have to loosen. And up top here, we're gonna put a jack underneath there so it holds it. And then we're gonna zap these 3 off, and the strut itself will fall out. Then we would proceed by spring compressing the stock factory spring, popping that hat off, and then new spring will go on, and then reverse. As you guys can probably tell, when you loosen those nuts, you want to have them flat to the bolt because you will have to hammer them out. You can see they won't just come out because they have like the spindles there. We got the jack with the pressure on the strut itself. Now Jordan's about to zap those 3. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the first strut assembly is here, and now Jordan and I were scared for our lives because we're using
the ones you shouldn't use.
Yeah, not the ones you shouldn't use. That's why we use 3 of them, just to be extra safe. I don't know if you can really see with this camera, but this one's definitely a little more compressed already, but we're gonna slap that one on. Yeah. Oh, look how strong. Yeah. You gotta feed the pigtail right to the end here, just like so. I think we can do the old-fashioned trick.
Yeah.
You don't think so? This is the old school way, boys.
This is old school. You don't need the spring compressor.
Look at that. Just thread it on all the way. If you're 130 soaking wet, I do not recommend, because the spring might honestly fly you up to the 3rd story and drop on your car like an egg. So passenger side is officially complete. Everything's back on. Rotor, caliper, all the sensors are plugged back in. And we got the new dual rate sitting right up there. While we were at it, guys, we actually did the little 2022 through 23 trick. If you have a 2022 Mach, you have to do this. If you have a 2021, oh no, yours is 2022, yours was already done. But if you have a 2021 Mach 1, this isn't in there. They got kind of like shat on by the EPA. So they put this like little carbon filter in the 22 and up models. This, you know, right here restricts the car about 10 horsepower, 10 wheel at that. So we have to go pull this little thing out of the intake there. And then now we're gonna remove that carbon trap and then feed this housing back in and then put the MAF sensor back in. Very simple. So we're gonna do that, free up some airflow, gain a little bit of horsepower, and should be ready to rock. So the little carbon trap comes out. You can toss this, but that has to go back in because it retains the diameter for the mass airflow sensor, and you have to pop the MAF back in. Otherwise it'll get all weird readings. So throw that back in, then reapply everything. Little update for you all, the other side on the rear is completed. This one's a lot more simpler. Easy. So now this is the part where, can you see that? Not really. But I'm gonna stand on this.
He's the fat one.
There she goes. Oh, and she's out. All right, guys, welcome back. It is over 24 hours later. It's actually like 2 days. When it comes to the Steeda dual rates, you're gonna get a little bit of lowering out of it, but it is going to make the handling even better than factory. And that's kind of what I'm telling myself right now, because you guys know my track record when it comes to lowering cars. I like those things lowered. I like the way it sits, and I think I'm okay with how it looks because I know that this car is ready to handle its ass off, and that's what's given me, you know, the okay with the fitment. But considering it is a handling pack Mach, I want the drivability, I want the handling to be top tier. The car just feels fantastic. So Chris and the team over at Steeda, thank you so much for turning this thing into even more of a handling beast. Let's jump in the car, give you guys some driving POVs, and just have a little bit of fun. This is actually crazy how good this car feels. Like very, very minimal body roll. If I were to do just a quick comparison on the 2022 Mach 1 and my old 2020, that's the one thing I do hate though. I hate how Ford implemented the auto rev match in first gear. I feel like a poser coming up to a stop sign, just throwing it in gear to go into first. But anyway, but comparing this car with the 2020 10-speed I had, for those of you that don't know, the 2020 10-speed didn't have magneride. And I will say right out the gate, just stock versus stock, you can notice a huge difference. Now, would I say it's a make it or break it when purchasing a vehicle? Absolutely not, because the IRS in these S550s and the suspension setup from the factory is already good. It's just crazy though, because the technology with the magneride in a handling form is just better. So it definitely does feel good. This is by far the best performing handling car I've ever owned. And what the Mach 1 comes with from the factory paired up with dual rate springs, you can tell this thing is just ready to start carving corners. And I can't wait until I get that opportunity to go hit Tail of the Dragon or, you know, some other back windy roads. Like, I'm very, very excited for that, and I'm gonna try to bring you that this week. So if you're enjoying the channel, you know, we're back all day, every day, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We have videos dropping. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification icon, drop a like on this video, guys, and we're gonna have some fun with this Mach 1, that is for sure. Another quick side note, the next thing I want to go and change up is the factory spring in the clutch assist. It is very light and super bouncy, and I don't really like the feel of that. I mentioned this before, but Steeda actually supplies a less resistant spring, so you get more of a, you know, a clutch feel, and it just makes the driving experience better in my opinion. So we will be trying that probably next. Not gonna hit this turn too hard, it's wet back here, but the car just feels so good. I get a lot of comments and a lot of messages each video, people kind of like contemplating whether or not they want to sell their current Mustang and get a Mach 1 or things of that sort. And honestly guys, like, this car is just, it's amazing. From the factory, you can have so much fun with it. It really doesn't take much. And you know, we're just diving into it right now. This thing isn't even, it doesn't even have the DBP touch yet. All I could say is if you do end up buying a Mach 1, I can confidently say you will not regret it, because these things are just a joy to drive, man. It's literally everything that you could ask for in a Mustang, with a bulletproof 5.0 and an awesome Tremec 6-speed manual with the cool gadgets such as the digital dash, the auto rev match, the launch control, you name it. So it's amazing car, man. I'm just so grateful and super blessed you guys support the channel and stuff so I can actually afford things like this, and you know, share the experience with you through the videos and just kind of influence people, you know, to definitely jump on getting a Mustang of any sort. Really, they're all great in their own way. Nice little bend here to the left. With this being our first like official drive and, you know, getting on a tad bit here with the Mach 1 and the dual rate springs from Steeda, I have zero complaints. And the only car I've ever really pushed hard was Romina's C7 Corvette. So it gets me super excited to go and push this car and see how they compare, because you guys know the C7 is another, you know, one of those track animal cars from the factory. But I have to admit, I think this is going to blow it out of the water by a long shot. And granted, Romina's car though doesn't have the wheel and tire setup that this car has, and that's like, you know, that's everything. We got the 305 Cup 2s and 315 Cup 2s in the rear. Like that's a meaty ass track handling tire setup. So, but the Vet did outstanding out in the mountains, and my plan is to take Maverick out there too and just see how he rips. So very fun. And again, Steeda, thank you so much. Can't wait to see what else you guys have in store for the car, but this was a huge W in my opinion. But all right, fam, think that's gonna go and kind of wrap up today's video. I just want to thank you all so much for tuning back in every day, 8 p.m. Eastern time. If you're not subscribed and this is you on the screen, please change that for me. I've been grinding, and it's Tuesday. I told you guys I took off Friday and Monday due to the holiday. So Tuesday, we're back at it. We'll see you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern time as well. If you're interested in copping these Steeda products for your 2018 through 2023, links in the description. Tell them I sent you, DM them or something. They might even help you out on pricing. I'm not entirely sure, but it's worth it. And Steeda makes some A1 products for all types of vehicles. So definitely go check them out. And Steeda, let me know what the next project is. Maverick's ready. Thank you so much, fam. Hope all of you have a blessed day, and we will catch you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern time for another video. Deuces.